Have you ever asked yourself, why did this happen to me? Why does life sometimes take away what we hold most dear, and other times give us more than we could ever imagine? Many people believe happiness is winning and pain is losing. But what if that's not true? What if the thing making you cry today is quietly protecting you from a disaster you cannot yet see? And what if the thing you are celebrating today is preparing a lesson you are not yet ready to understand? This story is not just a story. It is a mirror of life itself. So listen carefully, because by the end, you may never look at good and bad the same way again. At the base of a gentle green hill, next to a thick, quiet forest, there lay a small village where life moved slowly. The houses were simple and modest, the streets dusty and lined with flowers and trees. The villagers worked hard every day, but money was always scarce, and every meal was earned with sweat. In this village lived a humble man. He was middle-aged, thin, and carried a kind and gentle expression on his face. He had never owned expensive clothes, never eaten fancy food, and never complained about his life. For him, having enough food twice a day was a blessing. What made him remarkable wasn't wealth or status, but peace of mind. Even in poverty, he remained thankful for every small thing: a clear sky, a warm hearth, a fresh breeze through the trees. He owned a small plot of farmland. He worked from sunrise to sunset, plowing, planting, and tending to his crops with patience and care. Helping him every day was his only son, a boy full of energy, dreams, and curiosity about the world. And then there was a strong white horse. The horse wasn't just any animal. It was smart, loyal, and quick. It helped carry loads, plow the land, and made the work lighter for both father and son. The horse wasn't just a helper, it was family. The son loved it like a brother, and the father always treated it as a gift from God. One sunny morning, word spread throughout the village about the horse's beauty and intelligence. A rich businessman from the city had heard about it. Curious, he arrived in the village with his young son. When he laid eyes on the horse, his eyes sparkled with excitement. "This horse is extraordinary," he said. "I will pay you a fortune for it." He offered more money than the farmer had ever seen in his entire life. With that amount, he could have paid off all debts, expanded the farm, and even lived comfortably for the rest of his life. The villagers watched eagerly, convinced the farmer would jump at the chance. But he smiled gently and shook his head. "I'm sorry," he said. "This horse is part of my family. I cannot sell it." The villagers were shocked. "He must be crazy," some whispered. "He's turning down fortune." Others shook their heads in disbelief. A few days later, something terrible happened. The horse disappeared from the stable. The father and son searched everywhere: the fields, the forest, the nearby river, but it was nowhere to be found. The villagers whispered again, mocking them. "See?" they said. "He lost the horse and the fortune he refused. What a fool." The son's heart sank. He couldn't understand how his father could remain calm. "Dad," he said, his voice shaking, "we lost everything. Why aren't you upset?" The father placed a hand on his son's shoulder and said softly, "We cannot judge what is good or bad in a single moment. Time will tell." The boy didn't fully understand. How could anyone stay calm after such loss? A few days later, early one morning, loud galloping hooves echoed across the farm. The boy ran outside, hope and fear mixing in his chest. There stood the horse. But it wasn't alone. Behind it came 5 wild horses, galloping freely and gracefully through the fields. The villagers were astonished. The same people who had mocked them before now called them lucky. What a miracle! What fortune! The father simply smiled and went about his work. He did not boast, did not show pride. He remained calm, as if nothing extraordinary had happened. The son watched, amazed. Even in this joyful moment, the father's calmness taught a lesson he did not yet understand. The boy took it upon himself to train the wild horses. Day after day, he fed them, tamed them, and taught them how to carry loads and allow villagers to ride them. Life seemed full of possibilities. The farm was thriving, and the new horses brought excitement and hope. But life, as the father often reminded him, is rarely simple. One afternoon, while riding one of the new horses, disaster struck. The horse became frightened and threw the boy to the ground. He fell badly, breaking his leg. The villagers whispered once again. "These horses brought pain," they said. "This is bad luck." The boy cried in pain, frustrated and confused. "Dad," he said, "this is truly bad. How can anything good come from this?" The father smiled softly and said, "Good or bad cannot be understood immediately. Time will reveal everything." 1 week later, news spread across the country. War had broken out. All young men from the village were taken to fight. Many would never return, but the boy stayed behind because of his broken leg. Suddenly, the bad luck that had caused him pain became a hidden blessing. His injury had saved his life. The villagers were shocked and humbled. The same people who had criticized the father now came to him in awe. The father sat beside the boy, placing a comforting hand on his shoulder. "Do you see now?" he said gently. Losing the horse felt bad at first, but it brought so much more. Your injury hurt, but it saved your life. That's why we must never rush to judge life. What seems good may bring lessons. What seems bad may hold blessings. The boy finally understood the wisdom his father had always known. Life is full of chapters, and each one has meaning. Good and bad are not enemies. They are parts of the same story. Everything passes. Everything changes. Nothing is permanent. Trust in timing. Trust in God's plan. Even if we do not understand the purpose of our struggles today, one day the meaning will reveal itself. The father had taught the boy the greatest lesson. Do not fall apart in hard times, and do not get carried away in happy moments. Life is balance. Every event, every joy, and every sorrow has its place. Life teaches us lessons in silence, sometimes through loss, sometimes through pain, and sometimes through patience. What did this story teach you today? Tell us in the comments. We read every single one. And if you want to stay connected with stories that heal, inspire, and guide, subscribe to the channel. You're not alone on this journey.